Thank you for joining us, Zollyhood fans. We're diving deep into the world of your favorite drama series on this episode of Behind the Curtains.
But before we get started, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome someone very special who will be unlocking the secrets behind the characters and storylines that will keep you glued to your speakers. Dexter Shabalala.
Turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Zollyhood fans from around the world. Trust and hope that all is well with you. This is episode 7 of Behind the Curtains. Just want to thank everyone who has been listening to Behind the Curtains from its inception. We thank you, our valued listeners, for your support and your feedback. It's highly appreciated in us growing and building and empowering our actors, our actresses on Zollyhood Universe. As I mentioned, we are in Women's Month in South Africa, so we will be continuing the trend that we have set on by having another lady gracing us on this Behind the Curtains. But before we get into our guests, we will go into our movie roundup. Good afternoon, Ada. How are you doing?
I am good. How are you today?
I am doing super good on my side. Super good.
That's great. That's great. I love it.
So, what do you have in store for us today?
Well, I'm going to play the movie trailer, and then we can discuss the exciting movie I picked for this week.
Is it scary being a lady FBI agent?
Yeah. Take a nice long look. A letter was left with the bodies. Signed with one word.
I saw a beast rise up out of the sea with 7 heads and 10 horns. And on his horns he wore 10 crowns. And on each head was written the blasphemous name.
What aren't you telling me?
He'll kill and kill again.
I know you're not afraid of a little bit of dark. Because you are the dark.
Do you still say your prayers? Never once. They scared me. Hello?
You could have made nice with me. But you didn't. And that has led to all of this. speaking.
Turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up.
Okay, that movie trailer is for the movie Long Legs. And there are two favorite actors that I love are in this movie. It's Nicolas Cage and Blair Underwood. I don't know what he's doing in this movie, but he's in this movie. And there's a young lady called Micah Monroe. I've never heard of her, but it's set in the 1990s in Oregon. And Micah Monroe is an FBI agent, and she has to solve a case of a murder, like a serial killer. And the thing is about this story, it's like no one's in the house to kill these people, and it's mostly family. Well, it is all families that get killed, and it's a horror thriller movie. It has a 96 rating, and it's like an hour and 41 minutes long. And I'm just listening to the movie trailer. I was scared. So it's really bloody. There's shooting. There is a lot of drama. There's just a bunch of violence in this movie. And as you can tell, it sounds really creepy. So that's what I have for today. So go out there and look at it. I haven't seen it, but I've researched, and it sounds really scary.
Let me just ask you one question. You are more familiar with the various states in the United States. Just run back my memory. Isn't Oregon a place that can be a bit scary? To me, I've heard a lot of paranormal activities and, various strange and mysterious stuff happening in that area.
I'm not sure, but that's a good question. I've never researched Oregon, and I thought Oregon sounded like a peaceful, quiet place. And according to this movie, is it safe in Oregon, in 2024? The movie was released in July of 2024.
The reason why I asked is I know that as much as movies might be a little bit fairy tale, it's usually based around some kind of myth or legend, that kind of a thing.
Is like connected to some culture, like a cult kind of thing. So it sounds really creepy.
Thank you very much, Nina, for
You're welcome.
Keep on surprising us. You go back. I wasn't expecting a scary movie tonight, but
surprise! You never know what I'm gonna come up with.
Well,
have a good day. Good night.
It's behind the curtains, so you never know what's going to pop out when the curtains are drawn back and pulled back. Yeah, but thank you once again for your continuous surprise.
Oh, you're welcome. Have a good night, good day, good morning, everyone.
All right, very good listeners. So you heard it. Go out and tune in, watch the movie. Just hope that you are not watching the movie alone and you're not scared of the dark, and vice versa. We don't want anybody screaming and running out of the house, on the streets, So do it with caution, but have a look and see what it's all about. So let's go into a short ad break, and then we'll come back.
Sweet Ladies A, Monday to Friday, Royal Selection 9 to 12, on your #1 radio station, Zollyhood Radio, where the magic happens, the home of Zollyhood stars, only on Zollyhood Radio, where the magic happens.
Hey, lady. Excuse me. You know where I can get lunch? The best money can buy.
Join us as we munch the lavish lunch from Tuesday to Friday, from 12 to 3 only on Zollyhood Radio, where the magic happens, the home of Zollyhood stars.
Howdy, y'all. It's time to turn back the clock. DJ Double T spinning classics on Zollyhood Radio. That's a fact. From Hank Williams to Patsy Cline, legends you adore, dusting off the golden oldies and playing some more.
This is Zollyhood Radio, where the magic happens.
So tune in tight, don't you dare miss a beat. Boss dollar bills dropping knowledge on the street.
The Money Drive
With Boss Dollar Bill. Only on Zollyhood Radio, where the magic happens.
More hits, more music, more
Zollyhood Radio.
Hey, listen, this is new hit music non-stop, every day, every night, non-stop.
Zollyhood Radio.
This is
Zollyhood Radio.
Turn up, turn up, turn up.
Box that till you.
Boy.
All right. So, just want to remind the listeners that this show is brought to you by the Upper Deck at Chef's Bar. So, when you need a drink or two, you just go to Chef's Bar on the Upper Deck and do enjoy yourself. Speaking of the Upper Deck, my producer, Gavin, Jeff Brown, is the DJ, the producer for the Upper Deck. So, and also the oldies but goodies down the middle. So do show your love and support to him during his shows. Now let's get back.
Don't forget the soothing transition with a difference. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. Tuesdays, of course, from 6 to 8 p.m. JA time. That's 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern. And then Wednesdays and Thursdays, 6 to 9 p.m. JA. That's 7 to 10 Eastern. Here on Zollyhood Radio, where the magic happens. And of course, I'm the producer for, of course, behind the cartons.
Now, just before we unveil our curtain, Zollyhood have a few, how they say it, powerful actors and actresses. You know, when we do their scenes, when they are acting, their presence, their voice captures the attention of the audience. And our guest for tonight amplifies just that. You know, her presence, her stage performance, takes, by commanding presence. And surprising to say, she balances the scales, with her sister equally as powerful, domineering, personality.
I just think she is more crazier than her sister. That's just me.
Well, we will let her confirm that or deny that. For those who do not know who I am speaking of no other than Hannah Radebe, also known as Kinsani. Welcome.
Are you sure?
Hannah.
Are you sure you want to do that?
Yes. Welcome, Hannah, to Behind the Curtain.
Are you sure you want to mention husband and baby daddy at the same time?
Leave that alone for now, my friend. Welcome, Hannah, to Behind the Curtain.
No, thank you so much. And just to clear the air, I think Anna is crazier than me.
Okay. You said Anna is crazier than you. Well, she will confirm. Well, she has and did confirm that she's crazier than you, but I still think that you are more crazier than her, especially when it comes to moving on.
How are you on Mr.
Yeah, I am doing good at my side of the world. Thanks for agreeing to be on Behind the Curtains.
No, I'm humbled by this opportunity. And good evening to your dear and very talkative producer over there.
Don't forget that I'm the most destructive kid when it comes to Jack Brown, yeah?
I don't know. I get that.
All right.
I'm sure the listeners will know that the difference between Anna and Hannah here, as it regards to me, is she's much calmer than her sister. I don't know if that is a difference in terms of, or that makes a difference anyway, but we'll find that out soon.
Yeah, so Hannah, as we always do, just before we get into episode 7, can you just, let our audience know, as an actress, why our listeners should tune in or listen to I Never Saw It Coming?
Okay, so it is a beautiful story that encompasses a lot of different traits that humanities portray. So it's just a tragedy, curled up with issues of romance, curled up with a bit of thriller, a bit of action. So I feel like one would be doing themselves a injustice by not watching this beautiful series, because it captures a lot of what we live in the modern world, but equally so, it still emulates what our forefathers showed or signified to be the principles or even the embarrassments of humanity. So without saying too much, I feel like it just shows what we were like and what we are like. And one would be doing themselves a great injustice by not following this amazing series. I hope I did that justice.
Yeah, yes, you did. You went back in time, forward in time, and everything. So before we lose track of time, just want to thank, Zollywood friends, for, always tuning in to Behind the Curtain. And without further ado, let us get into episode 7.
Previously.
Did you even listen to your voicemail? Because on your voicemail, I told you it's about taking it to the grave.
Lower your voice. I hate that voicemail. What about taking to the grave?
Oh, as I remember, my brother, my girlfriend called another man's name during sexual intercourse. Can you believe it?
What?
This is a drama series titled I Never Saw It Coming, produced by Dollar Bill. Enjoy. Miss McQueen, just hoping I'm not disturbing you right now. But I'm gonna need you to forward to me the financial report of the first quarter of the year.
Mr. Radebe, you were supposed to be dead. Am I dreaming or what?
Come on now, Bubbles. It's still Bill. Dollar Bill. Sure you still remember the Bubble and Bill evening? Anyways, I need a full update. Give me all the emails that I need. And I must say, looking as hot as ever.
Well, thank you, sir. I mean, but getting into this whole professional unprofessional thing, I will bring you all the info you need within the next few minutes. Do you need anything else, sir?
Stop biting your lips. Yeah, I want you to call my wife. I said, stop biting your lips like that. Yeah, I want you to call my wife and then ask her to actually... You know what, Baba? Screw that, come here.
Stop. Leave the office. We can't be doing this here. Please, Bill. Please stop. What if someone comes and sees this?
Come in.
Hey, Mr. Dumsani.
Jeff, nice to see you, my friend.
Good to see you too, bro. It's been a while.
Jeff, my friend, what can I do for you today? Talk to me, Jeff.
Doc, man, look. I don't know if you know, but I'm out of business. And I realized for a couple of days I'm not feeling too well, you know. I'm having these terrible headaches. I'm fatigued. I guess I'm just overstressing. I don't know. What's going on here, Doc?
Jeff, I heard the news, my friend. I'm sure you must be stressed. I truly understand your situation. So just take this business card. It's a friend of mine. She's a professional psychiatrist. Her name is Dr. C.F. Makandela. So she might assist you in some ways. But in terms of your depression, this is what I can prescribe for you. Take it once a day, one pill a day after a meal. In the evening, it will help you with your depression. Once again, I'm very sorry, my friend. I'm very sorry. I am with you, and you can come to my office anytime you need me. I'll be there for you, my friend.
Thank you very much, Doc. I must appreciate this. The time you've taken to listen to me and to give me your advice. I appreciate it so much.
No problem, Jeff. It's my job. It's my job, my brother. Let me just walk you out, Jeff. It was nice seeing you again. Go well. And just take care.
Elizabeth, how are you?
Wow, the cat with 9 lives. What can I do for you? So late.
I'm here to see Matthew. Is he around?
Yes, he's home.
Honey, Billy's there to see you.
First, you were shot. Then you were dead. Then your body was lost. Then you're a ghost. And now you're here. How can I help you?
Minister, it's so good to see you. I need a little favor.
What favor can I help you with?
I need you to actually communicate with the Minister of Home Affairs. I need my documentation to be reinstated so I can continue with my businesses. Can you do that for me?
Why should I help you?
Minister, you're a funny man. I like your jokes. All right. Anyways, hope your wife doesn't hear this. This is a check. It's a signed check. You'll just fill in the amount.
Is that all I get?
Right there. It's a start. So if you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. You can actually come to the golf course this weekend, and we'll talk about the rest. Good evening, Minister. Say goodnight to your wife.
Wow, this place is beautiful. Maya, that's the place you have been telling me about?
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, what do you mean? This place is the place that Pam and I usually come to. We have our girls' night. It's very classy, just like me.
Nice, nice. I know you're a woman of class, and that's why when I laid eyes upon you, I knew you were the one for me.
Oh, please, come on, guys. Don't play Romeo and Juliet in front of us.
Hey guys, welcome to the dish. My name is Bradley. I am your waiter, and what would you like to eat and drink?
I like to have a tossed salad with roasted chicken and some dry white wine, please.
I would like steak with some vegetable rice and an orange pineapple cocktail, please.
I would like to have fish and a nice green salad and cream soda.
I would like a fruit punch with a salad.
Okay guys, thank you for your orders. Your meal will be ready in the next 10 to 15 minutes. But with the drinks, I'll bring them very soon. Thank you.
Well, if my mom were here, she'd be like, I'd like to order a pina colada right now. I can already hear her saying that.
Wow, my mom was gonna order red wine.
Hey, ladies, tonight is not girls' night out. We are here. Engage us a little bit.
That's right, Dexter. We're here. We're here.
Hey guys, I'm back with the drinks.
Thanks, Bradley. I will take my drink and my girlfriend's drink. Theo will take the rest.
Thanks, Bradley. I'll take my drink and my girlfriend's drink, and yeah, we will wait for the food.
You enjoy.
Honey, I'm home. You won't believe who came to my office today. Babes? Babes, are you crying? What's the matter? Talk to me.
No, I love her. I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm good. There's nothing wrong.
Babes, you know I don't like seeing you like this. Talk to me, honey. I'm your man.
Honey, can you believe Anna actually doesn't want to believe that I'm sorry? She doesn't want to forgive me for something that happened so long ago. I really don't know what to do.
Honey, you played your part. You did everything you had to do. You went to your sister and you apologized to her. Or better yet, I have a suggestion. How about I go to your sister, go on your behalf. I'll try and talk to her.
Honey, I don't even think that's a good idea, hey? Just let it go. We girls will sort it, we'll figure something out. Let it go. Don't get involved, please.
Honey, I've made my decision. I'm going to your sister as your man. I don't like seeing you like this. You're our sisters. It's about time this thing came to an end. So I'm going to your sister.
Whoa. This is surprising. Look at who awoken from the dead. What are you doing in my house, Bill? What are you doing here?
Baby, I know that you're angry. Let's talk. I mean, we've always talked about things and gotten through. If we can get through this one too, baby. Look at me, baby. Look at me.
Don't you dare touch me, Bill. Don't you even try it. Talk about what? What do you want us to talk about? Where do you even want us to start talking?
Anastasia, I know what I put you through. I'm really, really sorry. All I'm just asking is for a chance for you to give me just a chance. Just make up for this, baby. Baby.
Told you not to even come. Don't touch me, Bill. You know what you put me through? Oh my God. You have no idea of what you put me through, Bill. Being a widow, dressing all in black, thinking that I was going to live all alone. You tell me you know what you put me through? Don't you dare touch me, Bill. Don't you dare touch me. I'm still your wife. This is serious. The last time I remember, I'm a widow. So now that you've awoken from the dead, Bill, I want a divorce. ASAP.
Divorce? What divorce? No. Now you're being ridiculous. No. Please, just hear me out. Please, just hear me out.
Yes, divorce. Hear you about what? I don't want to hear anything. All you're gonna know is you're gonna hear from my lawyers. So go get ready, cause I want a divorce bill. I want a divorce.
Thank Allah, baby. Kaki. Haka.
Dan Allah, ka in haka? Ka in haka kace? Tashi ka fita ma gidana. Fita Bill, get out. Get out, Bill, right now. Get out. I don't want to ever see you again. Get out.
Alright, Anastasia. I'm leaving. So, I'll be at the Hannah Radebe Hotel if you decide you want to talk.
Who's knocking at my door? I'm not expecting anybody this evening. Come in.
Hey Dexter, how are you?
Hey, Rosie, how you doing?
Well, I wish I could say I'm fine, but I'm not so fine. And I'm hoping, as a fortune teller, you can be able to help me.
It's always my pleasure to help a beautiful woman like you. How can I help you?
You know, Jeffrey, my husband, ever since the bar has been shut down, he hasn't been himself. He's been going through ups and downs. And, I don't know what's been going on, but I feel so lonely.
I know things must be really difficult. I have an understanding of what you're going through at the moment.
Yeah, I'm sure you understand. I mean, because you're a fortune teller, right?
Well, yeah, I am, but I wasn't referring to that. My girlfriend called another man's name during sexual intercourse, and boy, the sex life has just not been the same.
I'm sorry to hear that. That must have been shocking for you. Dexter, can you please hold me?
Sure, usually a man gives a rose to a beautiful woman like you, but very rarely a man is gifted such a beautiful rose as you.
Aww.
Mm, 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 mm. Rosie, you're such a beautiful woman.
Aww.
Mm, 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 mm.
So, can we take this to your bedroom?
Hi, Anna. Nice to see you. It's been a while. Looking beautiful as ever.
Hello, Tinsani. How you doing? Oh my God, thank you so much for the compliment, and you're not looking bad yourself.
How is Bill, by the way? I hope he's good. I think you know why I came here to see you.
If it is about Hannah, I am not interested. That is all I'm gonna tell you. I'm not interested.
Yes, it's about your sister, my wife Hannah.
I just told you I'm not interested in anything that has to do with Hannah or Bill. I don't want to even talk about it. Please, just let me be. I don't want to talk about it. Like I don't want to talk about. What? Jimson, why are you looking at me like that? Jimson, stop. Let go. Stop it. Let go.
And I'm sorry for doing that. I can't help it. Why something so wrong feels so right?
Oh, I'm so tired. Oh, I know. It's so wrong. I feel so right. I'm gonna take out my bra. Oh my, I'm sorry. Oh. No, Anastasia, what have you done? No, Anna, this is not like you. What have you done? This is not like, what have I done? I need to talk to Bill. What have I done? Bill. I need to talk to Bill. Where is Bill? Where did he say he was going? Yeah, the hotel. I need to get my car keys. Where's my car keys? I need to say Bill.
Bubbles. I really cannot believe that after 30 rounds, King Snake still wants you, so I'm gonna have you for the first time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really. Screw it. Think we out of condoms. Come here. So don't you have a bag of condoms in your handbag, cause I think we're gonna need it.
No, I don't carry those.
That's alright. I guess this is why they actually invented morning after pills. So, Bubble, show Dollar Bill where it hurts. You know, baby, that dollar bill go down on you.
Bill, are you done fucking your PA now? So go shower. I want to talk to you. And bitch, get out.
Give it to me low.
turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up.
Let me first start by saying I should have put in viewer's discretion is advised. So I know it's too late now, but hope there was not any young
Any kids listening?
any kid listening. I should have put in that advisory about half an hour ago. So my apologies. Yay. Wow. For those who don't know, this thing was called the Summit. And for those who do not know where the summit is or where it's located, do some research, come back to me, and then you will understand why this thing is called a summit. You know, I don't know what we were high on, but we summited the mountain, and after that, we were still at the mountain and we just never came down. All right. Now, before we get back to a summit and not come down, let me bring back my lovely guests on stage. Hannah, before we get into the interview, do you want to give your comments on this episode?
Wow, super steamy. It was quite a summit, as you put it. Yeah, and we're not coming down. And just to go back to the statement I started with when we started this lovely interview, Jazzy, I still say my sister is the crazy one. And I hope the viewers were able to pick that up on multiple occasions on this lovely throwback that you gave us.
Yes, I hope our viewers was able to pull back up. But like I mentioned, you know, for a powerful person like Anna, you know, I think you tend to hold your own. You don't, you know, bow down or back down. You tend to keep the fight.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. So let us dive right into the interview. The first question that I always ask every guest is, who is Hannah? Where she came from, what's her background, and how it shaped her to become the Hannah that we see in I Never Saw It Coming.
Where do I begin? So much like my twin sister described, lived together as a beautiful family until the tragic family apart, the tragic separation of our parents, where Anna then country with our dad, and I was left with our mom. Needless to say, that did not only break family unit apart, but it also, I think, instilled a level of anger in Hannah, young Hannah. This level of anger subsequently led to her falling pregnant at the age of 16 by a man I would rather not divulge who that man was at this point. Because I feel like it's a very integral part of what the story or the series I Never Saw It Coming is centered around. So Hannah falls pregnant at 16, is obviously depressed and kind of disorientated by this, because imagine 16, you have a baby, you don't know what to do with another human being. We didn't have such a great relationship with our mom, so that was not an option. And that unfortunately led young Hannah to give up the baby for adoption. So he then gave the baby to a foster home and kind of continued like nothing happened. She She later then pursued a qualification in journalism from a very prestigious college in the United States, and that is how she then became this wonderful and big editor-in-chief that we see in Storytelling.
Okay.
I hope I did justice to that question.
I think you more than did justice to that question. I think you touched on everything. I think the only thing that you left was the summit. All right, so we got to have a general overview of Hannah, where she came from, who she was, her struggles, and so on and so forth. You mentioned that you got pregnant at a young age of 16.
Yes.
At 16, I think, I'm not sure on your side of the world, but we call 16 Swiss 16. And I know, every male and female is looking forward to their 16. I'm not sure exactly why, because the only thing that is at 16, I know in my country, is the age of consent. You still have to wait 2 years to become an adult. I'm not sure if it's the same in SA. But as a teenage mom, and to our viewers out there, if you can just, give some words of encouragement to any of the young teenage mothers out there, and for those who, are planning on having fun, to, be cautious, if I may say so.
Oh, okay. Thanks for that, Kathy. So much like in your side of the world, in our side of the world, 16 is an age of consent, and you still have to wait for about 2 years to be certified a legal adult. So that's a bit similar. To young moms, young dads, if you are already a young mom, if you are already a young dad, you can't necessarily reverse any of that. So come to terms with it and try to be the best parents that you can be for your young child, so that they don't grow up angry or they don't grow up in a negative environment. Because the worst thing you could do is to try and project your anger or your issue on a sinless and seemingly innocent soul, because they didn't ask to be born. They were brought onto this earth. And those who are still thinking of doing their ziggy high at the age of 16, run away. It's really not worth it. Because the results are not as pleasing. My personal story was centered around the fact that I didn't have a father figure around me. So I looked for a father in every man that I would come across, really leading to me falling pregnant. And as our viewers will pick up from the beautiful drama series, I Never Saw It Coming, I wasn't ready for being a mom and taking the responsibility of actually raising another human being, given my age and my lack of maturity to kind of fulfill such a function. So if you haven't started with the big thing, rather wait and become a fully fledged adult before you engage in such things. But those who are already parents, the best thing you can do for yourself and your child is to love them fully and forgive yourself for maybe bringing them onto the earth too early, but love them unconditionally.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree. Just to say, what I noticed, every country has their own way to call the thing that happens between the shit. I go to tell you what to do. if I could have put a compilation of what people call what happens between the shit, I think I would have a list without end. Ziggy ziggy hi hi. Okay. Okay. All right then. Okay,
That is
so
the one term that has multiple synonyms all over the world.
yeah, because I do not know what, but there is always this taboo, this hush hush thing about the three-letter word.
Yeah.
But leave the three-letters for now. Right, and let's get into your relationship with Musani. You mentioned your grew up, how you met, your first, man, but I'm assuming that the first man who is not to be mentioned is not the man in your life right now. Am I correct?
You are definitely correct. Yes.
So can you tell us how you met the second man in your life?
Wow. This is a story I always love telling because that wonderful God-sent man pulled me out of the ditch, if I do say so myself. I grew up a very reserved, kind of much of a loner, if I could put it in one single word to describe myself. And given the fact that what happened when I was 16, I think I became even more reserved and kept to myself more. But with time and with maturity and with age, and also with the different things that we come across in life, I got to meet this lovely hunk of a man who just swept me off my feet. Bimsani is the one reason I believe I'm still alive. Because regardless of my ugly past, he loved me just as I am. And just to answer your question fully, Bimsani and I met when I was pursuing my degree in journalism. And initially, obviously, I was a bit reluctant to pursue a relationship with a man. But yeah, he kept on fighting until such time where I did agree to be his girlfriend. And the rest is history. Love you so much, baby.
Bumsani, I'm hoping that you are listening wherever you are. It's always nice to hear, how our actors and actresses, met. We have been some very romantic, gatherings. Let's put it that way. And look at the love and affection that is being shown to the son on there. Oh my God.
Right now, I can tell you this. I don't think that I'll ever get that with Rosalie. So I don't know.
All right. As the friend of the show, I was listening to the host of the show asking the question. So, how did you meet your second man, Tumsan? Okay, the second man came into your life, but how Dalabel would have asked that question? Your second man who has the same last name as your first man who happen to be brothers. But anyways.
Let's squash that, friend of the show. Let's squash that. There is a particular reason why I never mentioned the identity of the first man.
You know my brother There are certain things, you have to dive into it slowly. You cannot just dive into it head on. You know, you have to leave some level of suspense. Okay, all right. So we understand what happened in the first encounter. We now understand what happened in the second encounter. All right, okay, cool. So give me the chance to ask, what is probably, the relation between the first and the second? What do you think?
Or you should ask the question then. Do they really know each other? Which means your husband and whoever, does he have friends? What kind of friends, or the type of family, that kind of stuff. You don't drop questions like that.
All right. Let me can I come to my question then? Can I come to my question? My question is that, is there a reason why you went for your first man's brother? That's the easiest way I can put it. I tried always follow them, they're not polite.
Friend of the show, please be aware of the fact that with the first man, I was but a teenager. So we can't really say I engaged with the first man out of full consent and all of that. It was pleasure of life, and like you might have heard the beginning of my story, I didn't grow up with my father. So I looked for a dad in pretty much every man I came across.
Right. But all I'm saying, just for a little detail, is that your first man and your second man are sharing a father, since you were looking for a father.
Okay, let's squash that for now.
Okay. Hannah, here's the question. On a serious note, you've done what you did with the first brother, not knowing that you will end up crashing into the second. Now you've crashed into the second. Did you ever think, like I said, you had no idea that you would crash into the second brother? When he approached you and told you, my name is, my last name is so, XXX, Y is Y, I've been watching you for a long time, I want to be with you, blah, blah, blah. What was running through your mind then?
I think, to be quite honest, the first man never popped in my head when I met him. That is the honest truth. And in our engagement, when he was still pursuing me, obviously you share a bit of personal details, like your name, your surname, and that sort of thing. But I never thought Radebe as in the same Radebe I came across when I was about 16. To me, it was like, they probably it's just a coincidence that they kind of hold the same surname. So at that point, when I met my wonderful husband, I never made the connection, to be honest.
Well, to use the title of the drama series, I guess you never saw that coming.
Yeah, I really never saw it coming.
All right. So really, now I understand. Now this question might bake your noodles a little bit. So I'd like to find out, because we saw that you were very emotional about your encounter with your sister, which we were checking. We went back to it last week, and so how did you find? How did you find the experience of knowing that I'm gonna put the names out there? I don't know why first man, second man. What the hell? So when you found out that Dollar Bill, your baby daddy, is married to your twin, and Dumpan is your brother, and your twin is like your sister-in-law. Oh, good Lord. I knew this was going to break the noodles.
That reminds me of a little comedy that I heard a couple years ago. It looks like that's like my own grandpa kind of a situation, but yeah, I'm kind of
So what I'm trying to understand, so how was the experience of finding out that your sister is married to your baby daddy, who is a brother to your husband, which makes your sister your sister almost like your sister-in-law, and your husband your brother-in-law.
Wow. What is the perfect way of answering that question? I mean, overwhelmed would be an understatement. Obviously, coming to the realization that a man I gave myself to when I was 16 happened to be married to a person I was incubated with in my mommy's tummy. It was quite a lot. Super overwhelming. I don't know. I don't know the perfect words to actually use to describe what that feeling was like. And yeah, I was shocked, overwhelmed, flabbergasted. Yeah.
Well, it just goes to show you, no matter how big and vast the world is, I guess the world is getting way too small for our comfort, eh? Because what is the mathematical equation that, the person that you met at 16 would marry your sister and then you would have married the brother? The math doesn't add up nicely, but it still happened anyway.
True that.
Yeah, but just before we go on, just want to let our viewers listening in Radio Land that the lines are open. So feel free to call and answer your questions as you see fit. So keeping in the whole Hannah situation, as the friend of the show mentioned, in the last episode, we saw that, tension between you and your sister. And I would say you can cut that tension with a knife, my friend, because a little again, we need to put a police officer by the front door or something, because you just didn't know what was going to happen. It was so
is available, sir.
But before we get to that point, let us start on a little more brighter note. Can you recall a specific event between you and your sister, or a particular time, a happy time where you and your sister relationship was strong?
So, a particular point in our lives, I can recall such an experience was before our parents' divorce. I saw myself in Hannah, and she saw herself in me. We were inseparable. If a perfect way to actually explain this is if a guy approached one of us, the other one could be able to stand in for the other sister if the guy was to want to meet up with the girlfriend, but like we would be able to kind of represent each other in any given situation. And this was during those innocent years, man, when we were still kids.
All right, that's beautiful. So that means this thing of being around the same man, it goes a long way back.
Well, not intentionally. That was just an example of how strong the bond was.
Okay, that's beautiful. But I just want to get into Hannah's emotions really now, and I'm saying this. We even saw her being emotional. That was heartbreaking, man. For two reasons. Because now she's got like a situation with her sister, which she number one didn't ask for, and I can tell that she cares about the sister. Hannah, you do care about your sister a lot, and the feud between the both of you, it's just overwhelming for you, to say the least. And not to mention, so I'm bringing in another aspect that we did learn about 2 weeks ago when the big secret was revealed, that Theo was your son who was brought up by your twin sister, fathered by your baby dad. Okay, right. So, how do you really feel about the feud happening between you and your sister at that point when it was happening, and about your son being raised by your sister? How does that make you feel? I'm saying this because now there's an element of depth there in saying, I don't think you gave up Theo for adoption because you wanted to. I'm sure you wanted to give her a better future because you love him, pardon me. You love him, and you also want to pursue your studies. And I don't know whether the plan was to find him again, but like after learning that, okay, the very Theo that you gave birth to, carried for 9 months with Dollar Bill, was being brought up by Dollar Bill's wife.
I think the best way to answer that question is obviously it's no one. So even when a pregnancy is unplanned, while the baby is growing in your tummy, there is a bond that is created between the fetus and the carrier, which would be the mother in this case. So as much as I was too young to carry Theo, I did create a bond with him. And you are correct in suggesting the fact that I gave him up for adoption because I realized that I couldn't give him the life that I believe he deserves, number one. Because I didn't have the necessary resources to provide to him in such a way I would also be pleased with his growth and development. So giving him up for adoption at that point, or at that age, at my level of maturity, made more sense than me raising him with minimal resources. The plan was always, I need to find my son. To kind of entertain the aspect where you mentioned my twin sister, obviously it makes me feel like a failure as a mother, number one. Number two, as a human being, because now I'm thinking she's probably going to think she's better than me because she raised my son. And I gave him not from more due to my own liking, but circumstances at the time. So though I pursued a career, I've always thought about my son.
Okay. All right, that's beautiful. Now, can I ask another question? I'd like before you come in, let me just follow up your question. So now that we have seen that the story has been revealed and so on and so forth, and Dollar Bill's question, let me just follow up with another close related question. How has the news been released by Patrick, the lawyer, which we'll come to just now, right? How has the news that you are Theo's mom affected your relationship with you and your sister?
Well, so obviously, much like I suggested, okay, obviously it was revealed that Theo is my son. In consequence, the father's name had to be revealed, and the father now happens to be my twin sister's husband. So now, even an inkling of trust that Anna was trying to establish with me kind of broke off, because now she's thinking I'm probably in love with my husband, and we have a kid together, we might actually try to rekindle our relationship. So it absolutely disseminated any hope of myself and Anna actually trying to build on what was broken, but also to mend and kind of close up old wounds. So more than anything, it deepened those wounds. And I might be wrong, but I feel like Anna would never forgive me for having a child with her husband, though it was a long time ago and I was a kid and I didn't know any better.
All right. Maybe let me ask to tennis you with the permission of the host, of course, being his show behind the curtain. Dexter, if you just allow me, just give me 3 minutes. Can I tennis her? Sorry.
Okay, no problem.
All right, thank you so very much. So, Hannah, I'm just going to tennis you a bit. So we're going to have just a dialogue between us, just a back and forth a little bit. Few questions. All right, let's start here. It seems by bits and pieces that we pick up from your answers that there's some level of not liking or disliking your baby daddy.
Yes.
You dislike your
You
baby
would be
daddy.
correct in insinuating that, yes.
What would be the cause of not liking your baby daddy?
I believe the main cause was the fact that I came across my baby daddy at a very trivial time in my life, at a time where I more than anything wanted my father to be around me, and my baby daddy, aka Dollar Bill, used this for his own benefit, because through my longing for a father figure, I was able to use that situation to engage with me sexually, that subsequently led to the creation of Theo. So you would be correct in insinuating such a thing, because he took advantage of a young kid. It was just desperate.
Yeah, no, I'm not disputing that in any way, but like, how do you explain maybe in clear details as to what is taking advantage in this context? Because the follow-up question, because I don't want us to take too long, because I just requested for a few minutes. So maybe you can also give us details as to was he aware that you're looking for a father? And we are now even saying this to our listeners who are probably going to be young or not even listening right now. They're going to find this on social media and they're going to be listening, and they're also looking for a father figure. So I want to understand the longing of the father figure. How does it cause you to allow a man to sleep with you? And maybe they're posing the question to that, because I gave you 3 questions. This is going to be a 3rd one. So you didn't love him at all? That will be the closing question. So first question is, can you clarify what is taking advantage so that we can all know? Yes, and number 2, I'm now saying we can all know, even in as a lesson that we can share with other people. That sometimes you might be thinking that you are engaged, but little do you know that you're finding them at a vulnerable state, and you engaging them as they are, it's actually taking advantage indirectly. You will tell me on that. And then number 2, as I said, can you explain the how do you look for a father and end up sleeping with the person that you're looking for a father with? And how do you sleep with the person that you perhaps regard as a father figure? The 3rd and final one will then be, did you have any sort of feeling for him?
Okay. So with your first question, at the age of 16, my opinion, the rest of you guys can comment. At the age of 16, I don't think you have a good perception of what love actually is. So I did not love Dollar Bill. Me suggesting that I was looking for a father I was looking for a male figure that could fill in the void, not going with my dad. And this is the case with a lot of young teenage girls who are not necessarily raised in a harmonious, fully fleshed family where there's the presence of a mother and father. What they then end up doing is seeking for male figures that represent somewhat of a father figure to them. So father figure in the sense that you offer a sense of protection, you care, you are able to represent a male figure in their life. How it ends up getting sexual is because the young girl would not have an idea of what a father actually represents. So now if father says, let me touch your thigh, you will allow because father figure in this case is giving you attention that you've been longing for. So you can't necessarily decode what is right and what is wrong and how this father figure or how this male figure that is in your life that kind of represents what a father should be is supposed to do or how they're supposed to engage you. I am not in any way endorsing or encouraging young girls to engage or young girls who were raised by single mothers to kind of look for men to engage sexually with. But the truth of the matter is you seek for what you don't want. And once you find it, how it materializes is, I believe, the responsibility of the older person in that situation. And in this case, it would be Dollar Bill being a bit, not significantly, but a bit older than Hannah at the time. So when he suggested let us engage sexually, it just felt like another way of trying to bring or develop that closeness with a male figure that represents a father figure. Just your questions.
No, thank you so very much. That was beautiful. Dexter, back to you, my friend.
Thank you very much. I'm just going to read comments from one of our listeners, and who is from SA. So big up to SA. I know it's late on your side of the world, but I will just read a comment in a nutshell. So you remember what I said that we definitely needed an advice, to say viewer discretion in advice. But our listeners, one of our listeners definitely really first. You said that on SAFPB radio, especially in your guys' vernacular language, they play these interesting old stories in your vernacular, right? Whether it be Sutu, Zulu, Pedi, Swati, you know what I mean, right? I'm not sure if they still do, because my grandmother was one of those who always listened to them playing. I never saw it coming on the radio, kind of a drama. It sounds exactly like that, but it vivid in a more modern way, and that's really was awesome. So that's from one of our listeners out there.
You wanna say that so we can give them a shout out?
Kennedy Wave, big up to you. I know it's also the time.
Okay then.
Okay. All right.
Anyway,
All right.
before you continue, Jazz, I want to ask Hannah a very I don't know if it's a touching situation or whatever it is, but it depends on her answer that she gives. In real life, Hannah, as in the person that plays the character Hannah and the character Hannah herself, is Hannah and is the person that plays Hannah emotional?
Good question, actually. So to a certain extent, yes. Funny enough, the person that plays Hannah was never really emotional growing up, but with growth and maturity, I saw the power in vulnerability. So allowing yourself to allowing yourself to immerse in the emotions that you feel. Given different circumstances, different situations that come up. So to a certain extent, and Sunny and Hannah share that similarity in terms of embracing the emotions and fully expressing those emotions. Yeah, I think we are similar very much in that instance.
And for the listeners, were you actually crying in real time when you did that?
Funny enough, how I got onto Zollywood and ending up being part of the cast of I Never Saw It Coming.
No.
It's because
I'm saying, were you actually crying?
I'm getting to your question. Relax. How I got into the series was because I could feel the authentic nature of the various cast members in how they express like different emotions. So to a certain extent, I had to get myself to a level where I was actually crying to kind of emulate that particular emotion. In a nutshell, yes, I was actually crying.
Wow, that's beautiful. Okay, I want to come to something else here. I'm saying, so I've got a two-part question. Maybe the first part would be knowing already that it's correct to insinuate that there's just like in Dollarville, there's a disingenuous emotion there. So I just want to come to the part where, so how would you describe Dollar Bill? I'm saying that maybe I browned you and all of that. Do you think there's a case you can handle, or how do you deal with him when having to deal with him?
That's a bit of a tricky question, given the fact that though we were never in an actual authentic relationship, he is still the father of my child. Or rather a son donor. But anyways, he is still an individual that gave me, I believe, one of the best gifts I could ever ask for. I did not raise him, but he is one part of my life that I look at and I am proud of. I am proud of him.
Honestly, when you said he did give me the best gift, I thought you were about to say the best experience in bed. But anyway.
No. I'm too young.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
But speaking about just one question, I just want to close one. The reason I said it's a two-part question. I'm asking this question specifically because now there's a scene where Dollar Bill asks you how is he looking. I think it was a preparation for the wedding, and and then Hannah says he looks amazing, and all of that. And then Dalville is not having that alone, and he says, "Is that all I get?" No. In fact, I'm wrong. The all I get comes after. Do we still have Hannah? Yeah, we still. Yeah. Yes, and then Dalville asks for some sugar from Hannah. It starts off as if she's resisting a little bit from giving Dalville some sugar, and then it continues. Dalville continues persisting, and they eventually lock lips. And after locking lips, and then Dalville asks Hannah, "Is that all I get?" And then Hannah's like, "Yes, and please don't ask me again." Right. So I basically narrated the whole scene. So Hannah, can you tell me your emotions at the time, and also understanding the fact where you stand with feeling your feelings as it regards to Dollar Bill. So, how did that happen? This is why I'm saying, how do you feel about Dollar Bill? What led to the kiss?
Okay. So I believe even our listeners would be aware of the persuasive nature of this mighty dollar bill individual. So I think that kiss was purely encouraged by the fact that you can be quite, or the character Dollar Bill can be quite persuasive, and he pushes and is very relentless in going after what he wants. I don't believe Hannah hates Dollar Bill. I think she's allowed bygones to be bygones. We as the story progresses, obviously we develop and we mature as individuals. So I believe on Hannah's part it was a moment of weakness, proving Dollar Bill's very persuasive and sexually hypnotizing nature. So yeah, it was a moment of weakness on my part.
Yeah. So okay, maybe in closing it for me on Dollar Bill's part, I just want to say that let us remember that on that very scene, Dumasani is in the house, at the Radebe house, at the Radebe home. Hannah is in Radebe home. I don't want to get into what they were also doing at the time, but like, what is Hannah and Dollar Bill doing at the time? How is Hannah's feeling about, I'm trying to say, was there any form of thrill and all of that, knowing, okay, we're in here with Dollar Bill, the door is closed, but at the other side of the door, it could be Hannah and Dumsani walking in, and here we are, I'm in Dollar Bill's arms and we're kissing.
Much like I said, okay. Much like I said, I think as human beings, you guys can either agree or disagree with me. There are those moments of weakness where you are not really considering the feelings of those closest to you. So at that moment, the persuasive nature and just the sexual bravado of the character, Dollar Bill, took the best of Hannah at that moment. So the idea of Sunny walking in, or even her twin busting them together, was neither here nor there. At that moment, she was just immersed in the greatness of this mighty character called Dollar Bill, and she was just stealing a moment for herself as well. Not endorsing that sort of action, but like that does happen.
There was a point in time when your husband ended up in the hospital, and your sister walked in. Your sister walked in. You having the emotions of hoping that your husband is not dead, and then bang, here comes your sister, who slept with your brother, your husband.
My husband,
possibly having a kid for your husband, possibly. What was running through your mind? With the emotions,
I think at that point,
trying to please, I hope he doesn't die, and then bang, quote unquote, your sister / worst enemy in the world walks in.
I think the best way to answer that question would be, at that point, I was hoping Tumtani doesn't die, so that I can kind of punish both of them slowly. So him dying would have been the easy way out, do you get me? And I had to portray the figure of a good wife. But obviously, given the storyline that is portrayed, I never saw it coming between myself and Anastasia. I don't think any viewer or any listener does not pick up thick tension between myself and my twin sister. So with her, I couldn't pretend. But to Sunny, I had to be the good wife because I wanted him to be nursed back to health so that I can equally portray my anger and my and kind of achieve my vengeance while he's in good health. But with Anna, I couldn't pretend. We don't like each other and we never hid that from each other. Same as she couldn't hide the fact that she was pleased with the whole Theo and Dollar Girl issue. I couldn't hide the fact that I knew that we engaged sexually with my husband.
On both your parts. You slept with her husband, she slept with your husband. Shouldn't you call it even, Steven?
Unfortunately, life doesn't work like that. I slept with her husband at a point of vulnerability in my life. She knowingly slept with my husband. And at that point, it seemed like she wanted to kind of pull a checkmate on me.
She wanted to even the odds.
Yeah, even out the odds. And I mean, we grown adults, grown matured adults at that point.
Do you see in the near future that you go, it's back to square one from where it started with, she's already my sister, let's rebond again. Do you see that in the near future?
I am truly hoping, and I think you might have picked it up at the beginning of the episode that you guys played. My biggest aim about coming back and picking up with everyone and just being around even Donna Bill and my sister was to ensure that we mend our relationship, because when push comes to shove, my blood relatives, Mistani and the bills of this world will die and cease to exist. Like, we are blood relatives. And worst of all, we are twins. You get me? So we come from the same cells. So I hope and pray in the next season of Never Thread coming, we will be able to fix things and be the lovely twin sisters we were from our
Well, I guess we will have to wait for that. But before we keep it on the same trend that Jack mentioned about you and your sister. Let me just ask about you and your son. Now that you have kind of made some recollections with your son, how do you see your relationship with you and Theo in the future? Keeping in mind that you have probably made 20 plus years of his life.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you envision your future with Theo in the future?
Without seeking to replace the great work that my twin sister has done, given how much of a well-groomed and well-raised young man Theo is portrayed in the series, I wouldn't want to take away any points or any good deeds that my twin sister was able to kind of put onto my son. I would love to see my relationship with him stronger, and 20 years it's not child's play. I can't replace those years. I can't relive those years to kind of show him the sort of man that I would have been, and I'm truly grateful to my twin sister for raising him so well. But I'm hoping he will give me peace to be a mom. Give me space to exist in his life. He's not compelled, but I believe and hope he will give me that window to kind of enter into his life and get to know who he is, what he likes, what he doesn't like, and somewhat be a mom in his late 20s.
Well, I'm hoping that she is listening and that she will give you, it will be time in your life. Just give me 1 second before you come in, my brother. Given all that has happened, between, the news coming out, the fight of you and your sister, bring you back, memories to when you were 16 and so forth. Don't have to answer, but just out of curiosity, and just to give some level of guidance and counsel to our listeners. Have you ever sought counseling? Out of just to give you back some footing, some guidance. And if you have sought counseling, how it has helped you.
I believe and understand that there are probably listeners out there who are going through the very same situation that Hannah went through, being a teenage mom, having to give up the baby, and kind of carrying that guilt into adulthood, and then meeting her baby. And now the baby is a grown man who is independent and has managed to make it in life, regardless of her absence as a mom. Personal belief, and in this case, I'm answering as Sally, the person that's playing Hannah. I believe psychosocial intervention is very important. So, in as much as you might have family issues and the whole shebang, it is very important to seek professional help when it comes to issues relating to one's mental well-being, number one, but also trying to kind of make peace with your past so that you're able to create a better and much brighter future for yourself. Because unfortunately, if you don't forgive the sins of the past or even the actions in the past that you are not necessarily fully in control of at the time, you carry the burden with you pretty much for the rest of your life. And that is not a fulfilling life. It's not a worthy life. And that's why we would see increased cases of people rather taking suicide as the easy way out. This is because they never dealt with childhood trauma, for example. So in seeking psychosocial assistance and psychosocial help to deal with issues of the past, one is then able to easily move on with their present, but also enter the future with ease. I did.
Can I actually say this now that Hannah is a very incredible person, strong woman, and very I think she's very huge in family. I'm listening to how she feels about reconciling, and I think she's also big on things happening organically and naturally. I'm hearing her state about the fact that he wouldn't be compelled necessarily to have her in his life. But I do want to state this, Hannah, that I think there's a connection that not even Theo can deny or even denounce, which is the natural selection bond, which just comes with the fact that he was in you before he saw the sun. And that indicates, I think that's the connection and the magic that cannot be taken away. So I just spoke about the compassionate Hannah, emotional Hannah, yet strong at the same time. But we are seeing another parent. I didn't want to take it to this degree, but already you guys have touched on the where now Hannah is organizing Parabalance and is getting ready, to engage war. So, what is Hannah's mental state at the time, since you are speaking on the importance of mental health? So, what would be Hannah as a woman at the time organizing a such powerful handgun?
Okay. So, in as much as, like I explained, in as much as Hannah has engaged sexually with Hannah's burn, this was a time of vulnerability on her part because she didn't know any better. So the idea that Hannah would know what happened and the circumstances that eventually led to the birth of Theo and how all of that obviously altered Hannah's view on life and how she would subsequently mature into the grown adult that she is. She still went ahead and slept, or allowed herself to be taken by her emotions and sleep with Hannah's husband. That point, or that particular point of the story now enrages Hannah because she's like, dude, you know what happened with me and your husband, and at the time it's not like you guys were husband and wife and that sort of thing. So she is angered by the betrayal from not only her twin sister, but also from a man she believed is her knight in shining armor, and she believed nothing or no one could really get in between them. So you can only imagine being betrayed by not just a family member, but your twin sister. Can kind of biologically be regarded as your other half. So that is what now enrages Hannah. And at that point, she's not thinking straight. And she is allowing herself to be controlled by her emotions, which can be quite dangerous to the listeners, where you get so immersed in your emotions that nothing else matters. The goal is to achieve what you want to achieve, and on Hannah's part is to make sure that Sunny and Anna pay for the betrayal.
Okay, like you said, it's not how eerie like what?
Before we get down there, it's almost time for us to wrap up. And I think let's balance the scales. I think there is a sister on the line who I think we want to say something. Yeah.
I don't know. I might have missed something, but how did you feel like while you gave up your child? Did you go see him at the place and watch him and observe him as he grew, or did you just forget about him and just wish that you could see him later on?
Okay. So I will answer the question. I will start answering the question this way. Whether a child was planned or not planned, immediately when the child is conceived and it grows in a mom's womb, there is a connection, an inseparable connection that is created between the two. So from a distance, yes, I would go observe him, but I never wanted to kind of reveal myself to him or to even people who were around him. But I would time and again observe him as he developed.
Yeah.
And I obviously lost contact when I pursued a career in journalism because I then had to move places and kind of focus on building my rapport and my career path as an individual. But I think after giving him up for adoption, that is, there was always that longing or even that idea in my head where I'm like, did I do the right thing? Should I go fix him? So I would observe from a distance. I hope I did justice to answering.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so just before I continue, Jeff, if you, I know it's almost time, but we might just run a little bit into your show, but I'm just about to land this plane. All right. So let me start off then by saying, for the orphanages like where your sister works, as she call it, the pal, she doesn't call it an orphanage, because as your sister mentioned, she doesn't see it as an orphanage. She sees it as a loving place, place where home, for persons to find themselves and so forth. So just like to say, for all the orphanages, out there, who do mentor, do take in children like continue the good work that you are doing, and you are very much making a difference in the society, because there are lots of children, especially our males, who need that guidance, that safety net, so they don't fall to the cracks of society. But it will be remiss of me if I do not ask you, Hannah, about your job. I know that you are a journalist, and you do own a magazine called the Morning Global. How did that came about?
Hannah is a young lady that grew up inquisitive and always curious about all sorts of things. So there's one trait that journalists possess is the fact that they and ask relentlessly. So they never stop asking and they never stop digging for information. The Morning Global came about as a consequence of my pursuit of a degree in journalism. After working for various publications and finding my voice, my journalistic voice, I only saw it proper that I create a publication of my own that represents not only my idea of what the world is, but also pursues stories that seek to show the world that there's more to life than the highlights of the most famous Hollywood star and the most drug-induced celebrities all around us. There are more stories to be celebrated. There are more stories to be focused on, because whether good or bad, they shape the reality of our existence as individuals and as human beings. So I saw it important to create a publication that gives a voice to the voiceless, so offers the platform for even the slightest of achievements to be celebrated. So basically, the whole idea was born from my study or my pursuit of a journalism degree.
Okay, lovely. One thing that you mentioned is, about giving the voice, to persons who may not necessarily find that voice in, the other media outlets. And there are many questions that we can ask about, the Morning Global. But just to conclude, just to balance the scale a bit before we give you your final words. As we will see in the upcoming episodes, right? Since we diverge a little bit far, you use your job as a tool to seek revenge on your sister, by putting a damning piece in your magazine, against your sister. What was that all about?
Disclaimer. There was a bit of weakness on Hannah's part. That is just the deranged and out of control emotions leading her to kind of seek revenge the best way she knows how. So obviously publicizing a damning and character reducing article about my sister obviously caused the readers of the publication to kind of start questioning the authentic nature of this kind of stage of the baby character. So that was just an abuse of power on my part, and I believe it worked in my favor. Yeah.
All right. Before we give you your final words, I'm not going to go any further because our CV is right here and there, and we look forward to have you on behind the curtains at some point in time. So we want to leave the viewers with something to come back to when you do come back on air. So your final words, Hannah. What do you have for our
Dex, before she says her final words, can you ask her to say our final phrase by her? Please ask her, Dexter.
The friend of the show is asking, can you complete the phrase? There is no hell's fury like.
Hell has no fury like a woman scorned.
Hold on. Because of that, I will do this. I need for you to say it again. Say it again.
Okay. Should I go?
Yes, please.
Hell? Okay. So, the phrase is, hell has no fury like a woman scorned.
Hold on. Yes, indeed.
So your final words, Adam. What words of motivation you will leave with our audience tonight?
Okay. I will start off by saying thanks for this wonderful and humbling opportunity. I'm grateful to everyone who put the show together, and it is truly humbling to always explain or even give my 2 cents on issues with regard to the creative work that we embark on. My final words would be, it is very important for us to sustain healthy and meaningful family units because they determine the type of future that we will have. So having broken homes creates broken societies. And a wise man once said, hurt people hurt people. So if you're broken, you're bound to break others. Let us make sure that we create healthy and sustainable relationships within our family unit. And more than anything, we love one another. Because if we hurt one another, we are really perpetuating unhealthy and unsavory kind of theme to the rest of the world. And we can only have a destructive world. So if we love, then we perpetuate love. But if we hurt, then the same happens. We can spread more hate, and there are more broken people, and we will surely have a destructive and a broken future. Thank you for this opportunity, and good night to everyone.
And tell them I'm the wise man who told you all those words.
One thing I can tell you, Mr. Radebe, is I was taught from a young age: do not toot your own horn, sir.
Okay.
Unless if you work on radio again, you can always toot that horn.
my horn made it. My horn made a doctor out of evil.
Okay.
All right then. Thank you very much, Hannah, for gracing behind the curtains. We definitely appreciated your interview and your impactful words as Hannah, your character. We definitely look forward to you doing the show again at some point in time. I'm sure that based on the length of the interview, that our audience will very much tuned in, engaged, and we definitely would like to have you again. A part 2, maybe a part 3. We'll see how that goes. But for now, Dexter Shabalala, say thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let us go into a ad break, and then we will make way to land this plane before it runs out of fuel.
Really? If it's not DJ Double G, I'm not interested.
Sweet melodies, say Monday to Friday, royal selection on your the number one radio station. Only her radio where the magic happened, the whole world Sollyhood stars. Only on Sollyhood where the magic happened.
What's up, everybody? DJ Vision right here. Catch me every Saturday for The Last Man Standing right here on Zollyhood Radio, where the magic happens, from 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific, 6 to 8 p.m. Central and Jamaica, and 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern. That's Saturdays. Last Man Standing right here, Zollyhood Radio, where the magic happens. See you there.
Turn up.
Box that till you're blind. Bang, bang, bang. Box that till you're blind. Bang, bang, bang.
We had a very powerful and engaging interview this evening. So for all our listeners, especially our young listeners, there is a lot of food for thought. As much as behind the curtains, is a comedy, or even say a soap opera, or even a celebrity gossip kind of a show. We do want to leave you with positive and inspirational messages. So I hope we, as behind the curtains, did justice to that. But, with all things, we need to land this plane, and before we run out of fuel, my producer, can you play the inside scoop? And then we will say sayonara to our listeners.
Box that till you're blind.
Turn up!
Bang, bang, bang.
Breaking news. Miller put Ice Cube on the streets of London this afternoon while Officer Smith was being transferred to another hospital for further treatment. Reports indicate Miller's team engaged in an altercation with authorities. Details surrounding Breaking news. Miller put Ice Cube on the streets of London this afternoon while Officer Smith was being transferred to another hospital for further treatment. Reports indicate Miller's team engaged in an altercation with authorities. Details surrounding the incident remains unclear, but it escalated, resulting in the death of Corporal Morris. Following the ambush, a high-speed chase issued involving at least 20 police vehicles pursuing the suspect. The frantic pursuit caused widespread chaos, with all individual vehicles reported wrecked. The grim toll includes 12 officers losing their lives and an additional 5 sustaining serious injuries. We're joining live on the phone by Jones, who witnessed the shocking event that unfolded in London this afternoon. Jones, thanks for joining us tonight.
Corporal Morris, who was riding in the back with Smith. I was the first to react. We are begging followed, and before Morris knew it, we ran into a halt. Then he and his boy opened the door. Morris got shot off to change some words.
Authorities have not yet confirmed the motive behind the attack or the suspect's current status. A large-scale manhunt is underway, and Londoners are urged to stay vigilant and report any suspicious activity. This is a developing story, and further details will be provided as they become available.
Okay, so this was our inside scoop. For those who are avid listeners to our Lawbreaker series, you would have noticed that in the last episode there was a serious manhunt, or I should say chase, between Miller, the ICE, and the police officers. And this was the news report giving you a synopsis of what happened in the whole chase. And we had an interview with Jones, but it's not his real name. I think you guys should know that. We're not going to disclose, who Jones is, out of safety. So, but he gave a little detail as to what happened, on that fateful day, 12 officers losing their life. So the next episode of Lawbreakers will be coming out soon. So stay tuned. Do listen to our Lawbreaker series if you haven't. And as we touch down on the tarmac at, I don't know where, London, no pun intended. Let me say good night to our listeners, the friends of the show. I want to thank my producer. I want to thank my guest, Hannah, for gracing our presence, and everybody who made this behind the curtains a reality. Until next time, until next Sunday, when we bring another guest on the stage. The only thing I will say, it might be Valentine's Day a little bit earlier than normal, but we better know. Until next time, Shabalala was here.